Sven isn't banned out by Winstrike, and so
Not yet.
I would like that far more than the CK that they opted to ban out.
Yeah, we could see a Sven ban here. I wouldn't mind that. They could also pick it though.
It's true.
On this next slot. I don't think
Definitely
it's
a good
bad.
friend with Darkseer as well.
Something that I see against this Grimstroke Warlock that I think is a really good solution is to have mobile heroes that space so far away from each other that they can't get sold out. Like heroes like Storm Spirit, I like this ban from Anvorgesa just because if you can navigate the fight and you just have a guy jump in on Warlock or Grimstroke, their counterplay is pretty limited. Like they don't have the best defensive tools to stay alive, and since they do want to set up their combo, the more you split up the fight and make it chaotic, the harder it is for them to land it. So already with Spirit Breaker Darkseer, that's a great start, right? Spirit Breaker will just charge in alone with 1,000,000 move speed and start the fight and be away from everybody.
But you can't just have a great start, and I think that's what makes they ban out the Sven. That you need to have follow-up. A lot of times, someone tweeted recently, was it AUI? He was just like, not every single hero can jump 4,000 units like you can, or something like that. And so Spirit Breaker is great, but he needs someone to do the 2-punch after his 1-punch. I thought this hero was dead.
Here we go. All right, I'm excited to see it. It's been banned against every game we've seen with Winstrike until this one. It's been banned against them or by them in the first phase. So this is the first time it gets through.
It's the first Chen of the tournament, I think.
It is.
Yeah, we were talking about it a whole bunch this morning too. For anybody who didn't necessarily tune in, what were those talking points about Chen?
Basically, he got nerfed really hard in the current patch. He got a much longer cooldown on the recall ability to teleport allies around the map. He got a nerf to the way his skills scale. Instead of having the aura do plus damage, it now connects to the creeps you take with Holy Persuasion. So the AoE like aspect of just playing around Chen in this mid-game deathball timing doesn't work nearly as well anymore. It's his creeps that are strong, much more so than the hero at this point. So it's just clear nerfs overall. If he hadn't received those nerfs, he would have been first picked in this game probably by either team, but definitely fallen out of favor a little bit. There's no doubt he's nerfed.
Right.
The question is, how bad is he? And to me personally, after seeing the numbers and just testing a little bit, it didn't feel like a powerful hero, but in the right hands and with the right strategy, we'll see how it works. This is not at all a stereotypical Chen draft, by the way. There's like nothing that
this isn't a
Chen
stereotypical draft at all. Like TA as the second phase. Well, I mean, before yesterday, TA's second phase was very normal, but as of seeing all the games of first phase TA and how much both these teams heavily prioritize the hero, it is surprising to see her be picked up so late, and in the face of a relatively good counter pick of Ember Spirit.
I don't know how Chen's going to play this.
Yeah,
I'm very curious to see how
with
this
him?
fits in. Yeah, usually what you do with Chen is you build a lineup that when Chen hits level 7 and has 4 creeps or 3 creeps and the good aura of the past and his Hand of God, you will group up, force towers. If the enemy fights you, you have such an abundance of healing that you're really hard to fight into. But Chen's team here is not the conventional mid-game timing team. He seems more like a lane enabler right now. Like he's going to enable a greedy carry, and then after that, they're going to transition into a mid-game where Chen will just try to put some pressure on towers almost alone, kind of, while the other heroes are fighting.
Yeah, well, I would like at least... So whichever Winstrike chooses their 5th pick, I think the idea is Spirit Breaker starts charging a lane. Chen is already in the lane and starts recalling the carry hero.
This sounds very situational.
Scoops up like a free kill. Carry can TP back to the lane and start farming again.
It's very conditional, right? Like Chen needs to be in one specific spot at a specific time, so Spirit Breaker can charge, he can recall, and then they can only do it once per minute now. Yeah. After the nerfs.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I'm
it's
thinking
just aside from that, like I struggle to see what Chen's purpose is with this draft.
maybe what they're building into is getting a last pick carry who plays Chen's timing. And then they feel like if we have this with Darkseer's auras and we have a TA with a Deso, we can go and siege. So for example here, like maybe Juggernaut that can both use Ion Shell and have the Healing Ward and can build Diffusal against Wraith King could be an option to go for this kind of push timing. There's not that many options left here that just are like enables Chen's timing, right? Maybe Lycan with Necro Book for Silent could be interesting.
I would like that.
I do need to bring something up. This was actually said in the chat, and I think there's some
nice
validity to
Warlock
it.
too. I actually think Lycan's really good here. Lycan's good here.
In chat, they said Sin just hating on Chen because he fed on that hero in Turbo.
Yes.
And I honestly, I think that there's some validity to it.
Listen. Okay, I did play the Turbo game because Tsunami made me play Chen for whatever reason.
I was trying to help you do research.
This is not the reason I'm hating on it. Okay, I looked at the numbers when he got nerfed, and I was very adamant and very
You looked
clear
at the
about
numbers,
it.
and then I remember you definitely said just a few minutes ago, you know, I played him a little bit, did not seem like the hero was still top tier.
You know, I think, okay.
Tsunami doesn't seem to think it's that bad. Blitz didn't seem to think it's that bad.
Okay.
The guy who fed on it seems to think it's
Okay,
bad.
Rich, listen. So, I think Chen has gone from a spot where the hero's just really, really good and you can just pick it to a point where you need to strategize specifically around playing Chen. I think that's where we're at, where beforehand it just was like such a solid hero, you just pick it. And now Chen is in the spot where, okay, we strategize specifically for having Chen. There you go, that's the last pick Juggernaut.
He redeemed himself.
So, but it's like, I don't know, I went into this game, okay, let me just explain this very quickly anecdotally. I went into this game and I was like, what do I skill level 1? Like that, I was looking at my spells and I was like, nothing sounds great. And I take Cold Persuasion because I'm like, okay, the aura is not as good as it used to be. I take Cold Persuasion, I'm like, okay, I go and find my creeps. It's a Vool camp. And then I go to the other camp and it's garbage too. I was like, okay, how am I gonna contribute to this lane right now? In the past, Chen would often just skill his aura, go to the lane and start hitting people with the aura and help his carry at last hits. And it's not the same anymore. But you know, in the right strategy with the right, it's also a different thing in pubs, okay? Let's be real here. This is more of a competitive hero than a pub hero.
Okay.
So, why are you laughing?
Because they're all saying Sind lol.
Oh, what a surprise. Nobody could have predicted that, right?
I do want to say, though, when we looked at the draft in game number 1, I feel like one of the big things that we were saying is it felt like a very cookie-cutter draft. And now we move into an area after they're coming off of a victory where they don't have that cookie-cutter draft anymore. An interesting thing to see. The question is it going to turn into a victory? And Tsunami, I'm gonna do it. Don't try to steal this bit right now.
When I see it on the screen, you better hurry.
We're going to be jumping into the game, and when we get back to the desk, we are going to have the best analytics that you've ever seen. These numbers, they're going to be huge, and they're going to be powered by SAP. Let's see how this Chen does.
Rich likes to do his outro solo, apparently. That look was the most murderous look I've ever seen a host give his panel members.
Yeah, that's weird because Rich doesn't like to do most things solo, so. What are you laughing about, Austin? What are you
game to do? Winstrike versus Anvorgesa. Because we're here to talk about Dota and not Rich's extracurricular activities.
Please hire me for more events. Don't lump me with Rich. I didn't say it. All right.
Well, Winstrike apparently going to start off the game by playing the Song of Their People.
So hit me up with the Chen talk. You said you wanted to ask about Chen?
Well, yeah, I mean, Syndrin wanted to talk about Chen at length multiple times when there was no Chen. So finally, when a Chen showed up, he was finally able to really trash the hero. And I heard you in the opening series, or opening game of today, you actually disagree. You think Chen's still good?
I think Chen's still good. Like, the overall laning phase is nerfed. I mean, he went from the best hero in Dota 2 to, like, still very good, in my opinion. Like, what he accomplishes on the map is still the same, right?
Yeah.
And Divine Favor plus, like, your ulti is still insanely good.
Would you agree with Syndrin that this is not your typical Chen draft that we've got going on here?
In a way, yeah. But at the same time, like, you still have a lot of heals. You have a Darkseer that can pump that up too. You have the Jug healing ward. Like, the push potential is still very strong.
What I think's kind of cool about Winstrike's lineup is the fact they have 2 very low cooldown mid-game cores.
Is Whisper going to stun the creep wave here?
What?
Oh, no. I thought he was going to block and then stun.
Oh. Just to try and get the creep wave into the tower?
Yeah, similar to what Grata just did.
Yeah. And failing that, it'll force Silent to be able to tank up a bunch. Now, Lil and Non-Grata did the thing where they double Ion Shell, they run with a creep wave, kill the first creep wave, and then immediately go for the dive as the creeps connect with the enemy tower. They don't actually get that much damage. Anvorgesa does do a pretty good job.
They need to hit level 2 before they're able to do this.
Yeah. Well, they need to hit level 2 before they can do it to get a successful kill. They could just kind of keep on doing it. Right? There's nothing really stopping them from just kind of running at heroes, harassing them as much as possible, like we're doing to Stinger right now. Meanwhile, the bottom lane of Whisper and Jericho, the Grimstroke Leshrac lane. I have to say, they always feel like they just never have great synergy
with their Grim
in their off lane with their Grim. Yeah.
I mean, they have better ways now. I mean, they've got Wraith King stun. Last game, they literally had like 2 things that they could use with it.
Yeah. I was more thinking of like just their offlane synergy is just terrible for laning phase every single time. This one's better than the Warlock Darkseer lane, but I still don't think
Nice dodge.
you really take advantage of Grimstroke.
Dude, if Chris Luck got bashed right here, he would just die.
Yeah, in fact, he's going to have to Fairy Fire. Oh, no, he gets bashed.
Yeah, but like that was still...
A billion.
That was insanity, right?
Yeah. Well.
I mean, the fact that he decided to go for that was so greedy. Like, stick around. Eventually, he was going to get the bash.
Is there any credence to like maybe he wanted to die? Was he out of regen? Still,
I don't know
he
if
had
he
a
wanted to
tango,
die like that. Yeah.
especially giving away first blood.
I think like maybe the second kill you can make that argument, but literally just dying like that I think is a worst case scenario.
Grimstroke now going to join this mid lane. Is they going to go for the kill onto Kumin? They've already burned through the refraction. He doesn't have another one, so Kumin is going to die. Attempted charge by Lil to be able to stop that kill. Not able to do so, but maybe he can kill Jericho and in return another Fair Fire, but a bash, not going to happen. Lil needs one more swing and is going to be able to get it before he dies. Chris Luck, though, is able to get... oh, he actually didn't get the last hit on Kumin's kill, but he gets the one on Jericho.
That was a pretty greedy move by Kumin as well, though.
Yeah.
Like, he had no mana.
It's not like he was surprised by the Grimstroke.
Yeah, the
being there.
Grimstroke was just kind of... He stood there. So both mid laners with a little bit of a misstep.
Oh, charge with the Ion Shell. Wraith King going to be forced to use the
He's
Wraith
got a
Fire
bash.
Blast. Lil,
Told
he's
you.
going to bash.
He missed like 5 in a row.
Stinger actually doesn't run into his tower, so he's going to take a lot more
might
damage,
be another one
especially
here.
with Lil cutting him off. That was a really cool play by him, cutting up through those trees. I don't know why Stinger just didn't run up into his tower. Well, they're going to go for mid lane again. Is this damage over time duo? Remember the term, the lawnmower? The Ion Shell Ember Spirit? Well, this is very similar with Grimstroke giving you Inkswell onto the Ember Spirit. Who's going to fight this? Oh, but he gets bashed up. He doesn't have a bottle, but he chains and doesn't actually get away from that final swing. He could have had that. Okay, well, at least Jericho picks up the kill.
I mean, he probably shouldn't have died again.
Yeah.
But just getting a little bit too over-aggressive. He was trying to overplay there.
Yeah.
In that situation, he's like, I'm going to be cool here. Watch me.
I'm going to bait him to the bitter end. I'm going to bottle last second.
Non-Grata, I mean, he can't really get out of this position. Might just die here.
Pretty sure he's dead. He's just going to kill as many creeps as possible on his way out. Hopefully waste some time. Goes for the Iron Shell. Of course, he's going to be chained right away. So there's a very small window of time where he's fast and not stunned. And that is not enough to get him away. Now I want to see a Darkseer, Grimstroke, Ember Spirit. You just load the Ember Spirit with all this damage over time spells.
Instantly pop the TA.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
She has negative refraction charges.
How's the Chen doing against Whisper's offlane Leshrac? Well, the answer is Whisper's level 5. So I haven't really shut him out entirely.
Dude, they've not shut him out at all.
Yeah. I mean,
And he's going to get both of the bounty runes.
Doesn't help that they don't really have a stun combo to work with the Juggernaut early on in the laning phase. They're going to go for a dive here. Grimstroke. Did he take the bounties? Did he do anything good for that? He did take a bounty, so
Yeah,
I think
so
he
they got
grabbed
3.
one away. Nice.
Not the worst position to be in.
Yeah. Especially since Winstrike had like a billion more bounties last game, game 1, against Anvorgesa. So if they could prioritize bounties a little bit more on the SA side, I would appreciate that. Chris Luck.
What
love
did
that
you
taunt.
learn?
What did you learn? I mean, he keeps on dodging it. He keeps on sleight of fisting every single time. The silence on the silent isn't enough to be able to get the kill and get the connection with the split earth. He's going to be able to run him down a little bit, but eventually that spin fails. And now with the slowdown out from the stroke of fate, land the stun as well. And that's going to be silent dead. And a lot of damage, maybe even kill that centaur. Yeah, get that extra bit of bounty. 62 gold for him. I'm not sure what Silent was thinking there, just trying to spin into the team.
He didn't have a stun. So they all just sort of walked it off and then turned around and killed him.
Yeah. I feel like he's had 6 minutes to adjust to the fact that he does not have a support duo that lends
He can just farm. That's the
stuns
thing.
easily.
Is that he was getting okay farm.
Yeah.
But now the Leshrek's quite ahead. And I actually think that Anvorgesa is in a much better position than them.
Yeah, it's 4-6. Not a huge net worth lead, but they seem to be doing well in almost every single one of their lanes. The Warlock heads up to top lane to try and help K1 as he's running a bit low on HP. He has Reincarnation, but again, they don't really want to have to use that lengthy cooldown just to harassment damage.
I mean, Lil looks like he's having a good time.
I'm a big fan of that maxed out bulldoze build he did. I thought that was pretty cool. They're gonna go for the dive here, or maybe not. Not really the time to go for the dive. Maybe if they had the creep wave pushing in, it would be a little bit better. They're gonna try again here now with Chen, trying to wrap around from behind with the Hellbear. If they could just finish him off, just do the Ion Shell, finish off that Reincarnation, now try and get out. Now Lil has definitely committed himself though, and he is gonna be stunned up with the Inkswell.
Nice block.
K1 is not there for the Wraithfire Blast, and now with the slowdown of the wall, Jericho, well, he's gonna be okay. We're gonna turn around and stun up that Wraith King illusion that had the Ion Shell just to make sure the supports are okay.
And Silent just continues to get assailed at this bottom lane. All three of their cores are winning pretty heartily in net worth right now.
Yeah. What are we looking at now? Yeah. All top three. Just a small difference between the 4 positions. That's the only way that Winstrike have evened up this net worth even a little. So Spirit Breaker's done a little bit better for himself compared to the Grimstroke. But other than that, the cores of Anvorgesa are going to be very happy with this game. Stinger going to be found by Lil. This is why he's got such an easy kill combo with this Ion Shell charging all over the map. Unfortunately, the TA couldn't really connect with him here, and maybe Lil has overextended himself. Nice Centaur stun. Lil has the space to charge away if needed.
They've got to do something to help Silent right now.
Trying to catch him, does manage to hit him with that Inkswell. Good charge in from Lil, though, and enough to finish off Jericho.
That's a lot of stuns in a row.
Yeah.
And Lil's actually got really good, healthy levels.
Yeah, just keep going.
He
If
doesn't
the
have
Centaur
ulti.
can tank for
Yeah.
you, you can at least force some rotations, and that's going to be one from Stinger.
I'm okay with that move.
Yeah. It's in a situation where you either dive and get the kill on K1 or you force rotations. Either one is a win. Rod of Atos all ready for Whisper. This is a fast Rod of Atos for an offlane Leshrac.
It's incredibly quick, and it's very effective against the majority of these heroes. It stopped CSB, great against the Darkseer, really, really good against the Darkseer. Fantastic against the TA. I mean, really, it's only kind of rough against the Jug because of his spin, but even that, like, it gives you a further chase when you pop your ulti, and he has to use his spin after.
Heroes like the Spirit Breaker and Darkseer, who's so reliant on their mobility, they are going to hate this early Rod of Atos pickup from Whisper.
Hey, Whisper's going to go ham in this game.
Yeah. He's going to just secure this 10-minute bounty rune. Chen going to try and push him away if possible, but by himself it seems unlikely. In fact, if he's not
Baited him onto the low
careful,
ground.
he may just end up dying here. They do manage to get the kill on the Chen, but Whisper is a little bit low. Needs to be able to get away from these Ion Shells, get some distance. The charge up in 4 seconds from Lil. They just need to be able to keep the vision. But the Inkswell stunned up Lil. He has a charge coming in now, and he will be able to get it. Whisper dies. And can he actually get away as a result? Is K1, he's going to die as Lil gets his level 6, gets the Nether Strike off to be able to finish off that hero. Now on the side, though, Jericho, he's in pretty deep, and it looks like there's no way out for him here. Is one more charge for Lil.
And that's going to be a double
kill for him.
Great setup by him overall.
Yeah, pretty much single-handedly set up 3 different kills for his team.
That should have gone really well, I feel like, for Anvorgesa.
Yeah.
And this is going to free up some space for Silent, who in the last 2 games has suffered quite a bit, but
Sitting at 3,700, the lowest of all 6 cores in this game.
yeah, and you see that Whisper, he's trying to force the spin out, but Silent knows what's up. If he uses the spin in that situation, he'll just die, or he'll be forced to use the ulti at an inopportune moment.
Yeah.
And going for the early Atos also means that you can't do that combo which Jugs love to do against solo offlaners, which is just like spin ulti, get a free kill. This build actually makes him quite tanky.
Yeah.
And I guess this is the downside of Chen. Is like you can secure some farm, but when he decided to get aggressive, that really hurt his game quite a bit. If anything, I feel like he just plays in that top area. The Dark Tier pushes in the lane, then you can consistently do dives under the Wraith King's
Do
tower.
have reincarnation, but he is so far away because his tier 1 tower is dead that he will probably just die twice here. So they got to throw down the wall, slow him down as much as possible, see if they can keep up with the double ion shells, hit him one more time, stay on top. They do manage to get a good slight chains, and Chris Luck at least is able to make sure the Wraith King survives, even if they can't turn so easily, and they will be able to take that bottom lane. And Whisper just hanging out there with some supports behind him the entire time. Another charge in. Lil fully committing for this kill onto the Wraith King. They'll have it too with Silent showing up. He gave up on his tier 1 tower, knowing he couldn't defend it against the Leshrac any longer, and joins in to kill the enemy carry.
Just a little bit too greedy from K1, sticking around here as now Stinger gonna go down, and Whisper's gotta be careful too.
Oh, they just got a kill. They just got the tower, and just like that, they throw it away.
And they just lose 3 heroes.
Yeah.
Different parts of the map as well.
That's dangerous, giving it to Kuman as well, who, you know, his Ancients, I feel like, have been relatively well protected. He's top of the net worth right now. He's gonna have a Desolator real fast. And I feel like this is a lineup you cannot afford to give the early Roshan to.
Yeah, plus he's not one of those heroes that like tops out as bad anymore because of her level 25 talent.
Yeah. Believe me, I have a lot of gripes with TA right now. Hate that hero. A hero is supposed to fall off, man. Why doesn't it fall off anymore? Why does it have a 25 talent that's just insane? Stun on a silence, chain stun with the silence as well, but unfortunately still not enough, especially with the Chen heal giving him an extra bit of window. There is going to be Chris Luck coming in from the side with the golem being dropped. He's fully going to commit onto this kill, onto No Fear, but he's thrown all of his remnants away, and now maybe Non-Grotto with the help of Lil can actually bring him down. A Sleight of Fist is going to be able to buy him a lot of time, and he had a lot of magic wand stacks, so with the rest of Anvorgesa joining him here, oh, great hit for the Stroke of Fate, but unfortunately it's not enough. He will continue charging through. The Ember Spirit is going to try and cut him off. He hit him with the Slight, gets him with the chains, will be able to get the kill.
And that was a little bit too greedy from Lil. He was trying to prep the ulti as Kuman and Chris Luck. Chris Luck wants to go for it. And in fact, he's going to catch him with the chains here.
Refraction, 2 seconds, Stroke hits him, managed to get off that magic wand. Refraction is up. Now Chris Luck, without a bunch of remnant stacks, I think that's unlikely to go for that kill. Instead, just secure the power runes. There is a nice, tasty arcane rune bottom lane for an Ember Spirit. Just the thing he wants to see.
Thought about using that ulti, but not quite in range, and likely wouldn't have netted the kill anyways, as the TA gets TP'd in by the Chen. 13 to 11, very slight lead, but you feel like in this game at least, Anvorgesa should be winning. Especially with the start that they had. They won all 3 lanes.
What's gone wrong, William?
I think that K1 is playing a little bit too greedy.
Yeah.
He stuck around the top for way too long when his team wasn't really in the best position to help him out.
Right.
If he just evacuates, I feel like the game is okay. Like if he doesn't get caught. They saved him that one time, and then he stuck around to farm neutrals, and he just got charged and killed.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Whisper, after he took the tower at bottom, I think his death was the least egregious. Because I think people should be down there with him.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. But because they had to rotate to save the Wraith King when his reincarnation died, he was kind of left alone.
I think K1 started the rough chain of events.
Yeah.
By getting caught up there. He gets saved. He ends up dying anyways. They lost the tower. They fed like 2 core kills.
Yeah.
And then you gave space for the TA to catch up. They're still in an okay position, but it's like, look at Whisper's game now. He went from the highest net worth in the game easily.
He's now the bottom?
Yeah, now he's the worst core.
Oof.
Radiant are scanning.
He's going to try and build into Greaves' build. That'll, again, just help him tank up a lot. Gives him a lot of armor as well against this physical damage of the TA as well as the Omni Slash of Juggernaut.
I just think you wanted to abuse this hero a little bit more.
Yeah. You wanted to be able to take mid-tower at least with the great game that Whisper had. You could have used him to take a bit more towers.
Yeah.
Instead, he's got this maxed out Diabolic Edict build, which can still do a lot of physical damage here as we're going to see him trying to defend this bottom tier 1 tower.
I mean, this bottom fight is a good fight for them to take. Like, I want heroes down here from Anvorgesa.
Yeah.
And ready to fight.
All right. Well, thank you, No Fear. Gives them not just one of the big creeps, but both. Team playing very cautiously behind Whisper right now. They're ready to go with the Golem and the Soulbind Fatal Bonds combination. And then they'll TP Chris Luck in if needed. Meanwhile, though, K1 with his Hand of Midas and straight into the Radiance build is just being very greedy. He really likes all this space that his team is buying him right now. As long as he doesn't get caught and punished for it, it's all good. What you doing?
Things keep falling out.
Sometimes, chat, I wish I could just pull up a caster cam at any time just so you guys could see.
Dude, a bunch of
My
coins.
friend William is just... Sometimes, man, I'm just like, what are you doing over there,
Dude,
you
like
goober?
30 coins just fell out of my pocket. Did you not hear
I
that?
just look over and William's like stacking coins out of his wallet onto the table.
Literally all of them fell out, and I thought everyone heard, so I was trying to like silently do that. Thanks for exposing me.
I mean, I couldn't help it. That's all I could think about, honestly. So you know me. I don't always out you on this stuff, but I literally
This
couldn't
was a
think
good
of
reason.
anything else.
Literally, they just all fell out of my pocket.
13-11, 2,000 net worth lead. Part of the reason there's just not a whole lot going on right now because both teams seem really okay with farming. Obviously, a Deso TA, very happy with this situation. Silent wanted the recovery anyway. Our Wraith King is hell-bent on being able to get this Radiance before we fight. And I don't know if Chris really feels comfortable making a whole lot of moves right now.
I like that casual belt of giant strength.
On who?
On K1. He just has it.
He does. Guess he thought he was going to go Halberd.
Maybe he thought he was going to go Treads first. I have no idea.
I think it's Halberd. He's got a Halberd queued up and it's quick buy.
Yeah, but why get the casual belt? Maybe it was because he was dying or something like that. He didn't want to lose gold.
Well, I legitimately think he thought he was going to go minus Heaven's Halberd. It sounds kind of like oh, nice Rod of Atos. That is a very fast reaction.
He's still speedy.
Yeah, fortunately that bulldoze just means that disable like the Rod of Atos, you can't actually chain it very easily. Oh, that vacuum though.
I thought it hit him.
Yeah, I was
instead
so
dies
certain
because
that
of that.
hit. And Lil, he might be dead as well as he tries to go out and save the Templar Assassin. What a big play for Anvorgesa. And if they can also somehow make a play back at bottom lane, where they do manage to catch No Fear for a second, immediately manage to get the purge off from the Satyr Banisher to get rid of the Rod of Atos and allow No Fear to escape. That was a cool play.
Dude, Stinger's TP actually got the TA killed.
Radiant's top tower
The
is
fact
under
that
attack.
He
They
came in
ran
and he
forward
rocked
and
the
tried
TA.
to, yeah.
Radiant structures
Oh
are
no.
fortified.
If you got the vacuum off. Dota's game of inches.
Well, waiting for Anvorgesa is now they're going to set up with their Radiance. That K1 is now happy to join the rest of his team and push a tier 2. They don't have the Ember Spirit around here, though, and Stinger has already used his Golem, so I'm not sure if this is a fight they can actually win, especially around a Shrine. A good Soul Bind, but it's not enough to be able to save Stinger. He's still going to be slowed down. Nongrad is right there to be able to find him. They just roll up with Whisper, doing so much damage. How did that Juggernaut die?
He
Did
got
he-
silenced.
Radiant's top
He got
tower
silenced before Omni Slash?
Yeah, he didn't want to use the Omni Slash on just the Warlock. Dude, the Warlock just does not die. Like, Stinger actually just never dies. He did go down at the very end, but they had a hard commit
Yeah.
everything on top of him. They used the duration of the spin. I mean, I don't know, man. Wraith King is just looking like the best hero in the series, because no matter how many times you mess up with this hero, you get a second chance to do so.
Radiant's mid
And this, I mean, this series is not the cleanest Dota that we've ever seen. And so it's beneficial to have a hero like this where, you know, if you make a small error, he's still useful. As both the creeps now going to go down.
And now you have Stinger picking up his level 10 talent. That's 4% Fatal Bonds damage. With the Soulbind, that's another 8% damage, William. That's how math works, I hope. I say I hope because I actually have no idea.
I don't understand how numbers work, man. I'll believe you.
And at this point, K1 is pretty close to having level 18. Also having Heaven's Halberd. I really thought Kuman was going to come to that fight too, by the way. Since it was on a shrine.
Yeah.
He went to
He
the
thought
other
he was
side of
going
the
to
map,
TPA,
though.
and he's like, dude, they've got no rock. Last game
Yeah.
it was Silent. This game it's Kuman.
They always have somebody who's...
Papa needs some farm.
Well, he really wants his BKBs. Feels like he's having a hard game against... And it is a hard game. Without BKB, Ember Spirit, Radiance damage, Inkswell, plus the damage over time from Phantom's Brace. Everything that Lishrak has.
Silent really doing this?
Silent is... I mean, he's burned out most of the mana out from the Wraith King. If they can't actually kill him,
Oh,
it'd
he
be well
uses
worth
wand.
it. Just go for it. Use the Omni Slash. Okay, the Golem's getting dropped. Now the Omni Slash
the
goes,
Omni
and they actually
Oh,
clip the
no.
creep, so he doesn't even kill a creep. He did nothing with that. Absolutely nothing. The Soulbind locking in these two. They're just getting a run down. Darkseer as well as the Chen. Gonna die. They're gonna clean up Juggernaut afterwards. Dude, Silent.
Dude, what was that?
I don't know, man.
Why did they try to
but
kill that Wraith King under a tier 1 tower?
Yeah.
Also, Wraith King kind of messed up by using his remaining magic stick charges.
Yeah, you wait until you get Omni Slashed and are very low.
Yeah, but doesn't actually end up mattering.
I can't tell if, like, Silent is wrong or Kuman's wrong, but they're
Something
definitely
is
not on
definitely
the
going
same.
wrong,
They're
yeah.
not on the same page.
They're not on the same page at all. Like, half the team's trying to make a move while somebody wants to farm at all times, and that's just... I have to imagine Winstrike, for whatever reason, today just did not roll up on the right side of the bed. Because last game, the Roshan thing was so egregious. That is, like, I always want to give players the benefit of the doubt, but
Yeah.
that one, like, in the previous game was so rough. And in this game, it just feels like no one's really communicating with each other. And Anvorgesa, I mean, they're taking advantage of it. They've won 3 lanes.
Yeah,
now
they're
they're
gonna
just pushing down.
They don't apparently care that the Golem's down. They're just gonna go for it with the BKB activated from Kuman, trying to kill Whisper, but he actually saves himself with the Glimmer Cape and the Guardian Greaves. Now they turn, getting all that side blade damage onto the Ember Spirit. They can just keep locking him down, but he jumps over, managed to get the chain onto 2, going for the Chen, now trying to clean up Lil, jumps through and managed to get that kill as well. Whisper with all his magic damage running down Silent, who doesn't have the spin up for 2 seconds.
That's
TA
everyone.
eventually dies. 4 dead on the side of Winstrike, and apparently Anvorgesa were very right. They don't need Golem almost ever, it seems,
No,
to win a fight.
This Radiance Halberd Wraith King is just too fat.
Radiant's
That halberd plus the Glimmer Cape from Stinger plus the Guardian Greaves, he thought he was going to get a fast kill on Leshrac and just got totally denied in
That's
so many
2
ways.
games in a row now where that Glimmer Cape has been way too good.
Yeah.
That was the entirety of his BKB. He's like, guys, I got my 10-second BKB. We're definitely going to win this. We lost the fight. I can't
Halberd
find
for
it.
half, Glimmer Cape for the other half.
And that was really well done by Chris Luck. He gets to the backline immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Makes the life of the supports really hard. He takes the Darkseer out of the fight by jumping on top of him to begin things. And the tip on a Kuman. Oh, that's tilting.
Yeah. You should be trying to tilt him right now because Anvorgesa are about to even up the series. Maybe they just might tilt Winstrike out of this tournament entirely. They can close this game out and then close out game 3 for a full series. We'll have to see, as they are going to take the mid lane of racks to the bottom tier 3. They have shrines available, so there's not a big rush for Anvorgesa if they want to back up and just take shrines, but they also aren't really missing any abilities because now the Golem is up. That was their only long cooldown. They have Soulbind as well as the Golem. They're ready to go with their combo. So they're going to go for 2 if Winstrike couldn't fight you before. It's going to be tough ass Silent, really looking for that backline. Does manage to find him with the Ion Shell spin. Jericho trying to save himself with the Glimmer Cape. Does okay. What a vacuum. The Golem's going to be dropped. That's going to be able to buy him some time. The Soulbind actually locking in Nagrata until the Spearbreaker dies, allowing Nagrata to be able to get away. Kuman still going for the backline, trying to get some of these supports with the Omni Slash is totally neutered from Silent. Does absolutely nothing. Kuman is going to be caught here as he managed to finish up the Grimstroke, but they're just going to call it. Kuman wants to GG out before he dies to Whisper, because he knows that this game is over and he may just indeed be tilted.
I mean, 25 minutes and 25 kills on the side of Anvorgesa, who pretty dominantly won 3 lanes. And the only reason why the game looked a little bit hard for them was when they split up, they died. But otherwise, very disciplined game. They protected their bottom tier 1 tower. K1, after that unfortunate death near that top lane, finally he's like, I'm going to go bottom. That is the place where I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
They were able to connect, make good moves. They took towers together. They sensed their strength.
His commitment to the Radiance, maybe we didn't fully agree with the timing. Maybe he should have played with the team or whatever. But once he did get that Radiance, he very much understood, like, now we can fight. I'm joining you guys for every single fight from here on out, and we're just going to destroy them.
I mean, the thing about it is, like, that was probably the best game out of the 2 that we've seen so far, and it was played by Anvorgesa. Like, that game was relatively clean. In Dota, you're always going to have mistakes because of the nature of Fog of War. You don't know the same information that we do. Obviously, we have all the info in the world, so it's easy to call these plays and say, like, oh, this was a mistake, this was a misstep. But, you know, you also have to give credit when they make good plays. And it was when the decision to take those bottom fights. It was very smart of them. They understood their strength as a 5-man lineup. And that's something that they lacked yesterday in the series versus eHome in Game 2 and 3. They weren't really willing to take that fight 5-on-5, like, not really understanding their strength. But in that game, they're just like, run at them. They're not fighting us. And they have shut down Silent in 2 games now.
Yeah. And it... Does this give you, like, where do you lead? Where are you leading for the Game 3? Because Anvorgesa seem to be on a roll now with a much cleaner Game 2 compared to what we saw in Game 1 out of either one of these teams.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we haven't seen the best of Winstrike. We haven't seen the Winstrike that took Alliance to Game 3 yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like they're not like their cores are not communicating what they want to do.
Yeah.
If you don't want to take a fight, then you shouldn't take a fight, and Kuman should be saying, like, I'm X amount of gold away from my BKB, but it doesn't seem like the rest of the team is aware of these facts. And that was the same thing in game number 1 where they ended up winning, but that's not how you want to win. Where, you know, half your team's roshing, half your team's jungling, you get caught out and you give Anvorgesa the opportunity to get back into the game. Because I could very easily see a situation where if they didn't mess up that Aegis, they're up 2-0 in the series, like they just won.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about like big upset.
Yeah.
So for Winstrike, they really need to get things together.
All right, well, you said Wraith King is potential the hero of this series. Love to hear the panel's thought as we head back and prepare for Game 3.
In esports, we are still at the beginning, and giving context to data is super complex. Technology and stats and insights can really help doing that.
One of the questions that we